Hey, welcome back. Yes, welcome back to another video. YouTube, you're chilling with none other than your homie Bonks, and of course this video is sponsored by none other than Olive Flair FM, your vibrant station of choice. If you're new to the video, welcome to it. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, and hopefully this time around you don't go anyway. Otherwise, do like the video, do subscribe, do click on the notification bell, share the video, why not, just to let people know about my videos and of course reactions. Of course, today we have another reaction in store. As you can tell or may tell on the title below and of course the thumbnail, we react to Kanye West, who actually had a chat with one of the journalists, chatting in regards to the Donda Academy, his broken businesses, and of course fatherhood. I'm actually not a big time follower of Kanye West, but I mean his beard be looking all over the place like mine. But yeah, let's see what he had to say. Without further ado, let's get into it.
In their time, I need to be able to actualize these things that are 20 years ahead and bring them to people in real life. The world needs to enjoy what's in my imagination.
Do you feel like most people don't get it? Like you're trying to always over-explain what's obvious to you and most people just don't feel or understand?
Yes.
For decades, Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, has engineered his imagination into an empire. One that includes 24 Grammys, more than 80 platinum singles, and a fashion business valued in the billions. But for all his accolades and achievements, Ye has recently grabbed headlines for his social media outbursts. His latest targets, Gap and Addidas. Ye and his apparel company Yeezy recently refused to collaborate further with the Gap, and they're now threatening to do the same with Addidas, jeopardizing deals that could be worth billions of dollars.
It was supposed to be a 10-year deal. Why did you want to terminate it?
You know, it's those nuances where people act like they your daddy or something. Like they will be like, shut up because I said so.
Yeezy, Ye's streetwear company, famous for its avant-garde sneaker and apparel designs, originally struck multi-year agreements with Adidas and Gap to develop and sell new co-branded merchandise, but those relationships soured.
You did use social media to show all the restrictions that Adidas and Gap have put on you. So how do you move forward now in the fashion industry when they're saying you can't even not only show Yeezy products, but anything bearing that likeness?
Oh, we got some new lawyers. We pull up. We really had to level up and show them who's the new boss in town, that I'm the boss of me. So I'm not just the mascot in the middle of games, getting the crowd hyped up saying, hey, wear this, do this. So
social media, you feel, is that more hurtful or beneficial to you?
That's one of my favorite questions this interview. I mean, we can use a car to rush somebody to the hospital, or we could use a car and accidentally hit somebody while we're rushing somebody to the hospital. So it's all in how we use it.
His problems aren't limited to business. The father of four still going.
So as I mentioned, I'm actually not a big time follower of Kanye West, but I actually realize it's crazy and it's very interesting on how he explains himself. The question was, how do you feel in regards to social media as per journalist? Kanye West goes on to explain or to answer that you can use a vehicle to transport a person. You can use a vehicle to transport a person that's in need of certain emergency, medical emergency, to the hospital. So his answer was basically it depends on how you use it. He actually seems very intelligent. And as I'm watching the video, I'm actually thinking to myself, it's crazy, it's wild of how a person can be so successful when you actually look at the scope of the country, South Africa, or the world at large, on how many other people suffer. Don't get me wrong, I am not shooting him down. I'm not putting him at fault. It's just crazy of how one man's success, who's currently, divorced, and then you find a lot of people who are, I guess, some sort of sincere suffering. It's very crazy. But yeah.
Through a bitter divorce and a drawn-out custody battle with reality star Kim Kardashian, who he married in 2014.
This is the mother of my children, and I apologize for any stress that I have caused, even in my frustration, because God calls me to be stronger. But also, ain't nobody else finna be causing no stress either. I need this person to be least stressed and a best sound mind and as calm as possible to be able to raise those children.
The former couple is now trying to co-parent their children, son Psalm, age 3, and Saint, age 6, and daughters Chicago, age 4, and North, age 9.
And I hear, do you coach North's basketball team?
Yeah, this was so moving and so important to me. A couple days ago, I got to see my daughter's improvement in basketball. The first season, just kind of not knowing what to do. As far as co-parenting goes, I put my foot down with Kim and I said, I learned how to play basketball in a summer and came back and won championships. So I, as her dad, am going to go and I'm going to coach her every morning. What you got? Let me see the skills. She trained every day and I really stayed on her, and when she came back she had the confidence.
I'm curious what your influence is with your children. If you make sure they have one lesson that you're able to instill, what that might be.
Follow God and all the visions and all the dreams and the ideas that he's given me and my children and Kim as visionaries, right? Because we've invented so many things that are relevant to where society is today. All of those things, the more we lean in and the more we follow God and the more obedient we are, the more he's going to bless us and bring it to the table.
Do you feel you have a voice as you're co-parenting now?
I do have a voice, but I had to fight for it. That hurts you when you have to scream about what your kids are wearing, what they're watching, what they're eating, and it's just little nuances where there was a parallel to what was happening at Gap, what was happening at Adidas, and what was happening in my home. It was all a kind of a disregard for the voice of something that I co-created. I co-created the children. I co-created the product at Adidas. I co-created the product at Gap. There's a parallel. And the parallel does touch on discrimination. Even within your marriage? Yeah. I want my kids to go to Donda, and I have to fight for a say-so.
Donda Academy is a private school near Los Angeles that he created and named after his beloved late mother, Donda West.
Both my parents are educators, but my mother was the first black female chair of the English department at Chicago State University, and she was a Fulbright scholar.
My colleague Terry Moran interviewed Donda for Nightline just months before her sudden death in 2007.
Then you were a single mom raising?
Yes.
How was that?
A single mom.
How'd you do that?
Well, it was a lot of fun. It was a challenge, but when you have challenges, that's what makes life worth living, right? Kanye was a great kid, even with all the...
He was a good boy?
Oh, he was a very good boy.
That surprises us today.
Yeah, he was a very good boy. Now, that doesn't mean that he didn't get into his share of trouble, and he would always challenge you, and you needed to be on your toes.
Ye is hoping to pass the lessons he learned from his mother to the students at Donda Academy.
How many students do you have enrolled?
We're on our third year. We have 82 students.
Give me a sense of why you decided you wanted to create a school and what the mission is.
To be a performing arts school, to be a design school, an architecture school, a farming school, automotive engineering school, a computer hardware and software school, financial engineering, not just financial literacy, and also to teach the gospel. And that is Donda.
He says he leans heavily into his faith for all aspects of his life.
People always want to know, I think, about your mental health. You know, you've talked before about how you were diagnosed as bipolar.
You know what? I think that this idea, this concept of mental health being this big subject is straight up media propaganda to diminish people that are not coloring inside the lines. We just accept this kind of idea of people saying like, hey, we want to talk about your mental health. And it's almost like if a white person said to a black person, hey, we want to talk about your blackness. And one of the things about the whole mental health conversation is even a crazy person can call you crazy.
His next task at hand, rebranding Yeezy, the fashion line known for high-end items like $300 tank tops.
But is that going to be affordable and accessible for people? Because I know some of your sneakers are thousands of dollars.
I mean, if it's up to Yeezy would be freezy. You know, Meezy.
People who are going to walk in off the street, can they buy something for $30?
20.
20 will get me a t-shirt?
Get you 4 t-shirts.
So it's going to be very accessible.
Very accessible.
Very affordable.
Very affordable. It's a start. We haven't got quite to free yet. Got to keep the lights on. We got to keep all these unnecessary in the middle of the day lights on.
He also wants to sell directly to consumers, an idea that he ridiculed back in 2013 during an interview with SiriusXM host Sway Calloway.
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got.
So Sway, almost 10 years ago, said, man, why don't you do it on your own? Was he right?
You know what? I will go ahead and say Sway had the answer. I know people are going to be like, no. Sway, you did have the answer.
Today, the artist leans on other famous names for business advice.
I remember Elon Musk. Did I drop that name slow enough and heavy enough? Name drop. I said, Elon, I just want to do deals like you, big bro. And he said, I don't do deals, I buy things.
His ambitions go far beyond the boardroom.
I'm actually curious because obviously you did run for president in 2020. Do you have future political aspirations?
Yes, absolutely. The aspirations, you know, that time wasn't in God's time. I'm sure God had me fall on the sword and say, this is not the time.
But Ye says he isn't finished yet.
People write off the fact that I'm going to change the world. They just think it's crazy.
How are you going to change the world?
More? How are we going to change the world more?
More.
We're going to change the world through information, through knowledge, through love, through respect, through understanding.
Right now, Ye is, can you finish that sentence?
Tired of doing the interview.
All right, then let's finish. That's it. That's it.
And there you have it. There was an interview from a journalist interviewing Kanye West, who had a chat in regards to fatherhood, the Donda Academy, and the broken businesses between Gap and Addidas. So in this brief clip video or interview with Kanye, you know what I actually took away? I took away the fact that maybe Kanye will not change the world into the way that we as the viewers think, or perhaps he'd not be president of the USA. But I tell you this, it actually ignited in me that as humans, you should be taking your best step forward. In other words, just doing everything that you can in order to be the best version of yourself. You know, the world is such a big place with different opportunities that we as people sometimes take for granted, opportunities sometimes that we perhaps think are not favorable. This is actually what I took away. Maybe some of you won't really get what I'm saying, but as I mentioned, I'm not a big time follower of Kanye West, but from these couple of minutes, I can tell you that I messed with Kanye West, because he did say that in his school, the academy, that he wants to teach people or kids about God, about having a vision, you know, which is profound, which is great, which is the best thing ever. What else did he touch on? He did also mention as he went through a bitter divorce, that he wants his baby mama to be stress-free, to be literally stress-free, so that they can actually come together and co-parent their kids, which is very mature from him, also coming from a person just in general. So yeah, but anyways, as I mentioned, this is not about me. This is actually about you. You let me know what you guys thought in regards to this interview. You can catch the full interview of this very chat, which was held with Kanye West. But if you've made it this far to the video, do remember to click on the notification bell, do like, do share, and yeah, subscribe to the video so that I can create and come with better content. I guess let me know what other videos you'd like me to react to on the comment section below. And there you have it, guys. That was another reaction of Kanye West, of fatherhood, the Donda Academy and his broken businesses, and more. Otherwise, let's catch up on another video or a reaction. Take care. Take bless.